Hey guys, welcome back to News for Science. We discuss comics, movies, games, and more. And today I'm going to be reviewing Hawkeye on Disney Plus, now streaming all 6 episodes. Now, originally I was going to review all 6 episodes individually of the series, but as of late, if you've noticed that I have not been reviewing any episodes of any series as of late, it's because I don't feel like people would want to necessarily watch it. So I thought reviewing a series such as this as a whole would be the best idea, so I can just pretty much get it over with and give you an idea of what I think about the series overall. And also, I watch just about everything that comes from Marvel Studios, and it's always a great time to talk about these kinds of series because a lot of my favorite characters are featured in this series. Now, before I get started with the review, I want you all to like, comment, subscribe, and click on bell notifications so you don't miss anything. I post videos on a daily, and I do live streams at least twice a week, Tuesdays and Sundays from 8:30 to 10:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And join my Discord. The invitation to that is in the description box below, along with the links to my social media like Twitter and Instagram. You can find me there. I post there just about, not every day, but like, once in a while. It's always cool whenever I post something. I always like to post everything Spider-Man related because I am a Spider-Man channel for the most part. Anyways, before I also continue on with the review, I want you all to know that there will be spoilers like around the second half. So I will leave a time code on the video so you'll see when the spoilers begin. But right now, I'm going to go ahead and get on the non-spoiler review part of my review, and then I'll go talk a little bit of spoilers. The review will be kind of a little bit all over the place because I don't really have a script, but overall, I'm going to give you the gist of the series and then talk about some of the highlights that really stood out to me and what I really liked about the series. So the Hawkeye series follows Clint Barton, who's also known as played by Jeremy Renner, and it starts off with this musical called Rogers, which retells the life and the events that occurred during Captain America's life and, of course, the events of the Avengers from 2012. And it starts off like that, and pretty much Clint Barton has gone through a lot. He has a hearing aid now. He has hearing problems. He can't really hear well. He purposely removed this hearing aid from the play so he doesn't have to, listen to this musical because it's kind of cringy and it's awful. I mean, which is really funny because at the end of the series, you get the whole full musical. Not really a spoiler, but it's just funny. It's in the trailers anyways. But anyways, word has gotten out. And we also meet Kate Bishop, played by Haley Steinfeld, who's getting a lot of love in the Marvel Universe, if you know what I mean. I mean, she even plays Spider-Gwen in Across the Spider-Verse and, of course, Into the Spider-Verse. And she's just all over the place nowadays. She's awesome as the character of Kate Bishop. Now, if you haven't figured out, and if you're a big comic book reader, this series is heavily adapted from the Matt Fraction run series called Hawkeye, My Life as a Weapon. And it definitely borrows from that comic book. A lot of the artwork and a lot of the look and the aesthetics of that series really does borrow from the Matt Fraction run. And pretty much the gist of the series is that Kate Bishop, the character, finds out that there's like a black market deal going on where like the Ronin outfit is like pretty much being auctioned off. Also the Ronin sword is being auctioned off as well. And she also finds out that there's some illegal work at play here involving her mom and involving her dad and involving people, in general. I'm just being very vague here. So basically, Kate Bishop gets a hold of the Ronin costume. It grabs the attention of Hawkeye, who finds out that someone is masquerading as the Ronin character. He has to stop what he's doing, basically telling his children that, hey, I'm going to be pretty much a little late to Christmas, but I'll try to make it on time. And overall, this does take place in Christmas, and the overall goal of Clint Barton is for him to try to make it back at home in time for Christmas so he can celebrate with them. I mean, overall, guys, the series is a fun time. I had a great time with the series. It's not a perfect series. I only wish that there was only more episodes to give a little bit more time to certain characters, which I'll get into the specifics in just a second after I'm done with this. But overall, it is a fun time. The series is kind of lighthearted. There are some dark moments in it. But remember, this is a Disney Plus series, not a Marvel Netflix series. And I'll also get into a moment as to why I'm talking about that. But now, moving on to the spoilers. So that's in the time code. If you're looking at this video right now, you'll see it. It'll say spoilers on the time code. So I'm going to go ahead and give you about 3 seconds for you to click away if you have not seen the series. 3, 2, 1. All right. I assume that you clicked away. It's also in the title below. I don't want to hear that, oh my God, you spoiled it. I gave you plenty of warning. It's in the title, in the comments, and of course, it's in the time code. We're going to talk about spoilers now. Let's go. There's a lot of characters that make an appearance, and none of them of which is not really a surprise to me, but I was happy to see. For the longest, there was a lot of speculation whether Vincent D'Onofrio's Kingpin, Wilson Fisk, was going to show up in the series, and I'm glad to say that, yes, he is in the series, and I was so excited to see him. I had only wished that we spent more time with that character because he really mostly appears in one whole episode, full on, and he was way more active than I thought he was going to be in that episode. Now, a few things that I'm a little bit unclear about is whether the events of the Daredevil Netflix series is canon to the events of Hawkeye. Has he already been Kingpin for a while? From what the looks of it, yes, he's already been the Kingpin for quite a bit. Now, as far as the events from Daredevil season 1, 2, and 3 go, I'm not exactly too clear on whether or not that series is actually canon, but if it is, if someone can let me know, please comment down below if you can. I did watch a video from Emergency Awesome just to see if I can get some clarification on that. But from what it looks like, it is because his character, at least his portrayal of his character, is pretty much roughly the same. But I'd like to say maybe just a little bit watered down, because in the final episode, he does fight Kate Bishop. And I'm thinking, like, this man can kill this girl and snap her in half if he wanted to. And what I really like about it is that Marvel Studios adapted this one to be more comic book accurate, because on screen he appears in his white suit with purple pants and like the cane, the trademark cane he uses in the comics. And in the comics, he doesn't really need a cane to walk around. He really uses it more so as a weapon. And he's a well-known Daredevil villain, basically. So the trade-off is that he appears in the Hawkeye series. And of course, there's a newly introduced character by the name of Maya Lopez, who's also known as Echo, which will be leading into her own series sometime about like maybe next year or 2023. And we can expect at least the return of Kingpin in that series as well. Overall, like, the series was a fun time, especially in episode 5 and 6. But episode 6 was the 1 hour episode, which I was really excited about, because I felt like the runtime per episode in the Hawkeye series was quite short. And I feel like a lot more could have been done. I actually would have been okay with at least another 2 more episodes. I feel like 6 episodes is way too short for a series like this. But I think if given more time to certain characters, then I think the series would have overall been a lot better. Now, another example I can give you is that Yelena Belova makes an appearance at least around in the end of episode 4 or 3. I can't remember exactly, to be sure, but she goes on to appear and try to kill Hawkeye Clint Barton, because we all know we got that post-credit scene in the movie Black Widow where Val tells Yelena that, hey, this is the man responsible for the death of Natasha Romanoff. And basically, she's just trying to kill him the entire time. Now, I love the chemistry between Yelena and Kate Bishop in this series. They look like they're having a wonderful time. There's witty banter. There's a lot of sarcasm between the two. And it's just so hilarious to see those two interact. There's even this sequence where Kate is trying to find Clint, and so is Yelena. She's dressed in this green coat. They're in the elevator together, and Kate's trying to slow her down by like pushing all the elevator buttons. And it really comes across in a way where deep down, Kate really likes Yelena, and so does Yelena. Yelena likes Kate Bishop. And there's even a part where Kate's like, why are you making me like you so much? And it kind of makes it difficult for each other to like go at it completely hardcore. Like, there's even a moment where like Kate just slaps Yelena, and Yelena's like, why did you even do that? Like, they totally come across as besties, and I can't wait to see more of them in the future, should they appear in future projects in Marvel Studios. Also, I have to give a quick shout out to the Tracksuit Mafia. Yes, they're featured in this series as well, just like they are in the comics. Basically, the Tracksuit Mafia are these group of idiots who are just a bunch of thugs, really, and they work under Kazi and, of course, Maya Lopez as well as the Kingpin character in the series. They're just totally hilarious, and they usually finish their sentences with bro. So overall, it was a really fun time. Now, that ending kind of ended in a cliffhanger, but we all can confidently say, at least I can confidently say, that Kingpin will live. Okay, so in the end, another spoiler alert, Maya Lopez gets the drop on him. She shows up to meet Kingpin somewhere, points a gun at his face, and shoots him in the face. All this time because Clint Barton had gotten to Maya Lopez first to let her know what had happened, and what had happened was that Kingpin had ordered Ronin to kill Maya Lopez's father. But rest assured, Kingpin's actually going to be okay. Marvel Studios is not going to kill off your characters such as the Kingpin. I mean, he's the freaking Kingpin, for God's sakes. He's been an enemy to many, especially Daredevil. So we can definitely expect to see him again, only wounded and blinded this time around. In fact, this scene right here is taken right straight from the comics from Daredevil Volume 2, number 15, where Maya Lopez actually does shoot Kingpin, and it just cuts off and ends on a cliffhanger like that, where we see like a splash panel that says blam and all in red. So anyways, don't worry about it. I know people were freaking out about this. I surely thought, like, holy crap, did they really kill him? Was he really a one-off character? But then I remembered, no, this really does happen in the comics. This actress that plays Maya Lopez is incredible. This is actually probably her first credit, and like, she doesn't have any acting experience from what I know about this actress. But she was great. I mean, she came across as like someone as genuine, who's a good fighter, and I loved every second of her in this series, and she was just awesome. Fun fact, the actress that plays Maya Lopez is actually deaf and is an actual amputee. So everything that you're seeing there is completely 100% genuine. Now, another criticism that I have, and that is about the mother. There were some expectations I had about the mother character, and that's Eleanor Bishop. I expected her to be some sort of secret super spy or something with a lot of abilities, basically. Turns out she's just a regular woman who was like stuck in the mud, and she was in a bad place, and she did some things that were illegal in order for us to gain a lot of money because she owed a debt to Wilson Fisk, Kingpin. And they're in cahoots, you know, like they've been doing the business for so many years. When I found out that reveal, it wasn't really that much of a surprise. It was quite obvious, and I suspected her since like the beginning of the series. But I wish that we actually had spent a little bit more time with that character to get more of a backstory of her, because I felt like a lot of the revelations in episode 6 felt quite rushed, in my opinion, which is a big criticism that I have about this series. But if you want to go ahead and watch the series and you're interested and you want to have a good time, especially during the holidays now, at least before Christmas, because this is mostly a Christmas series, it does take place during the events of Christmas time, go ahead and watch it. It is a fun time overall. Despite the criticisms that I may have of the series, I think you might like it. I ended up liking the series myself. I knew it was going to be a fun time, especially when the theme behind it is Christmas. So, you know me, I'm a total Christmas bitch. I love everything Christmas, and I had a wonderful time with Hawkeye, which is why I'm going to give Hawkeye, despite the criticism that I have for this series, a B-. Guys, that was my review for Hawkeye. What did you think of it? Have you seen it yet? Are you excited that we finally got Wilson Fisk, Kingpin in the MCU? And of course, Daredevil, who makes an appearance as Matt Murdock in Spider-Man No Way Home, all in 1 week. Thank you, Kevin Feige. An amazing gift from you guys at Marvel Studios. And thank you guys for watching this review. I appreciate it. I had a lot of fun doing this review. I had a great time with this series. I actually finished watching it this morning. I woke up a little earlier today to watch episode 6. And then, you know, I worked out and everything. And now I'm doing my review now. So I just wanted to let you know that the series is a great time. Go ahead and definitely check it out if you're interested. Anyways, guys, thank you all so much for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and click on the bell notification so you don't miss anything. And as always, I will see you all in the next comic panel.